Hi everybody and welcome to Heel Heat. My name is George Coles and this is our Survivor Series review / recap show. We'll go right into it. Now, if you've seen a couple days ago, we put out our preview show, so as I go through, I'll tell you which ones I got right and which ones I got wrong. First up, we have Kofi Kingston versus Miz. Okay match, I picked this one right. Miz gets the win. Decent for the opener. I like that they went away from using the IC title match on the opener on YouTube. But it gives us right into the show, which has Triple H and Stephanie, guaranteeing that there will be no physical interference in any of the matches tonight. Which leads us to our first of two traditional Survivor Series matches. Rey Mysterio, the Uso brothers, and the Rhodes brothers versus The Shield and the Real Americans. Quickly, we're going to run through the order of elimination. We had Ambrose, Swagger, Cesaro, Jimmy Uso, Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins, Goldust, and Rey Mysterio, with Roman Reigns winning it, looking solid. I picked the Shield Real Americans team for the win. I was right. I believe I picked two members of the Shield lasting, but this has the same impact. Reigns absolutely shows off and makes the biggest impact of the night on this match. I believe he tied a record with most eliminations in one match too, eliminating 4 people with his devastating spear. Again, another one right. Our next match would be Curtis Axel versus Big E Langston. Picked Big E to win, didn't see no reason why he shouldn't. Big E does, another one right for me. The next is the second of our traditional Survivor Series matches, and this one's a 7-on-7 Total Divas versus the Other Divas. I'm not going to run down the order of elimination because nobody really cared. Absolute abomination of a match. Natalya, Neidhart, and Nikki Bella win. No, not even the announcers cared. They didn't even know Nikki Bella was still in the match. That's how little interest anybody had in this match. I was right. I picked the Total Divas. I figured they're going to use this as a way to help promote that stupid show. And of course they did. Next up we had Ryback laying out an open challenge to anybody in the back, which brought out Mark Henry. Henry coming out with a new shaved head. New look, looks a little bit trimmer. I thought this match was 1,000,000 times better than their match at WrestleMania. Mark Henry looked great. He hit the crossbody at some point. Way to bring the guy back. I enjoyed this. I thought both actually looked strong. Ryback looked good. Mark Henry looked good. It was a good monster match. But since that wasn't an announced match, I didn't pick either way. Next up we have Alberto Del Rio versus John Cena. Of course, John Cena wins. Once again, I was right. Next up, the only blemish on my mark for the night. We had CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan versus Eric Rowan and Luke Harper representing the Wyatt family. I figured the Wyatt family would get the win to help build them up a bit. They didn't need it, actually. Bryan and Punk made them look good enough in this match that it didn't matter that they lost. They made it look like it was a fluke that 2 former world champions, Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, beat that team, which makes them look strong even in a loss. I was wrong, but glad to say I was wrong. Probably my second favorite match of the night. Last but not least, the match that I hope nobody picked wrong. Randy Orton versus The Big Show. Orton wins with the Punk kick after Show gets distracted by the Authority. They don't physically interfere, but they distract him enough that he gets an RKO and a punt. After the show, the Authority comes to the ring, followed by Cena. We have a pissing contest to see whose belt's bigger. Cena holds up his, Orton holds up his. Monday night, we figure, and we'll talk about this on our Monday night review, we find out eventually there's going to be a ladder match, WWE Championship versus World Championship. They did not say unification match. Just keep that clear. Remember that when you see it. But basically, back to the Survivor Series that we're talking about. 6 out of the 7 advertised matches I was right, so I went 6-1, and we'll say 1 for the one they didn't advertise. Not bad. I've had better days, not much. I've had a lot worse. Last couple pay-per-views, I was very hit and miss. But we'll go right into our ratings for this. Now, if you've seen our show in the past, you know we have a 1 to 5 scale. 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. A 1's a Great Khali, 2's a Heath Slater, 3's a Randy Orton, 4's a CM Punk, 5's a Daniel Bryan. I'm giving this a 2, a Heath Slater. The male traditional Survivor Series match was very good. The tag match between Punk and Bryan and the Wyatt contingents was good. Everything else... Well, Mark Henry's comeback I thought was decent. Everything else on the show was either way too predictable or just downright terrible. Orton's show was too predictable. Del Rio and Cena, we've seen this same match with them 3-4 times. Axel versus Big E, no one thought Axel was going to win. I mean, this was probably, in my opinion, one of the 5 worst Survivor Series, probably one of the 2 or 3 worst Survivor Series ever. And it's really disappointing because this should be one of the big 4 shows. It should be one that everybody looks forward to and everybody used to look forward to. But again, lackluster performances all the way up and down. A couple things no one gave 2 shits and a fuck about. The Total Divas match was one of the worst matches I've seen in my life. I wanted to pour Drano into my eye sockets after watching that just so I didn't have to watch ever again. But basically, that's what I have to say about that. My name is George Coles, and this has been a Heel Heat review of Survivor Series.